So today I built an automated content creation for images in n8n. So I'm gonna teach you how to do one like this. It's very simple. It's just to teach you the powers of how big it can scale. It's just gonna be very simple, not a lot of things happening here. So I'm just gonna teach you how to create this from the start. Just so you know, what the main purpose is that every time I have an idea, I can go ahead and put my idea here very roughly. As you can see, this has not a lot of things. Just a general idea of what the post is going to be. I'm choosing when do I want to publish it, and I'm choosing which social media do I want. And here do I have the captions and the hashtags that as well as the media and the URL which the social media workflow is going to create. So here you can see we already tested it out. It made the post title better. It has the same post description because that's the main idea that we want to reference back to when we created the post. As you can see, the status is now in progress as it is in progress. This is just for revision. And then here we can see how the image could look. Of course, this is just a draft. This is not for usage, but in case you need some inspiration, this is a great tool. It also gives us a caption for each of the social medias that were selected, as well as the hashtags. Now, of course, right now it's going to give us a very general caption and a very general hashtags because we haven't really prompted the agent, but for now, this is going to work. So, to do this, first we're gonna go ahead and start a new workflow. And of course, we want to name this. We always want to name this Notion Content Calendar Test. And this is for video recording, which means this is to be, actually, I'm gonna put delete, create a type delete. This is just to let me know that I have to delete this later. So how do we go about this? The first thing we need to do is add a trigger node. We're going to be adding the Notion trigger node, and we're going to be doing the on page added to the database. Now, if you want a connection, I mean, if you want a video on how to connect your Notion into your n8n workflows, platform, whatever, let me know and I'll make one. In the meantime, right now we already have our credentials set up, so we're going to be choosing the database that we want to be looking at. We're going to be looking at the content calendar. So let's see if we're taking the right. Yep. So we are taking the right database. Here we have all of our, not this one, we have all of our information from this database. So after this, what we want to do is we're gonna want to have a message, a model. So OpenAI message model. As well, you have to connect your API credits over there. So if you don't know how to do that, I can make another video, or you can just, I'm going to prompt this, so I'll be right back. As you can see, I gave it a role. Here I actually want to make sure it's an expression. I give it a role. It's very simple. This is not going to be as specialized as in comparison to an actual workflow for a business. This is just to show you guys how this would work. So different output parameters that we want. As you can see, I already ran it, and these are all of the parameters it gives me. So as you can see here, we have the captions for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then let's check over here. I thought here it's missing one, which is the IG Facebook. Let's see what. Oh no, it's actually right there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. It's missing the LinkedIn one. So let's see what happened. Social media to be used based on every input with a true value. So maybe if we give it just that is going to give us the actual full list. Because I didn't put in an expression, maybe that's why I didn't get it. See, now it's giving us the LinkedIn, and now it's giving us the LinkedIn caption as well. So after that, what we're gonna want to do is aggregating the data. So we're gonna go into an aggregate node. Here we're gonna be executing the previous node so we can get our input data over here and we can see what's going on. And here what we want is to add the captions, my bad, as an expression. So we get the whole object containing all of these four. And then we're gonna want to, oh, I actually thought it had given us the hashtags separately, but here right now they're actually together, which is better. So we don't need to do anything with the hashtags. And then actually something that I forgot is to always do a framework. Actually, we should do the framework before beginning the build, but that's not gonna be as interesting for a video. So just always make sure that you're putting sticky notes or doing your framework so that other people that come into your workflow can read it and not just try and guess what's going on. So here we're going to be database update new idea. We're gonna put it there's update new idea. Then this one is going to be the data data. All right, and then this is going to be the aggregate, and now we want to do a little bit of cleaning. So what do I mean with cleaning? What we want, what we want is for the data that's being aggregated here. So the captions that are being aggregated here, they're all different objects. To not be objects so that we can put them back into the database. We're going to be aiming to put it back on the AI posts, AI generated posts, I should put generated posts. And that information is going to be here, the captions. But if we just leave it as is without cleaning the data, it's not going to understand what type of data is coming, so it's not going to read it or being able to input it in our database. So what we want, as you can see here, actually it's pretty awesome. You can ask AI to let you know this. Like I said, this is a no-code tool, so you can use AI to help you with the code. It's most of the time going to give you good results, but when you want to apply it on the actual production or business practices, I would recommend using a little bit of coding experience so that it doesn't go too crazy. But okay, so what we want is to, oh, actually, I already had it right there. So what we want is we want to transform this, we're referencing it into a string. So it's going to generate us some code. We don't have any code. So it's going to generate us some code. And then just to make sure that we're cleaning it up, what I like to do is I grab all of this code. I go into here. I already did it, so you don't. I'm just gonna show you what I did. I took a photo of this, which is my input, and I gave it as a context to the AI. Then I gave them the code that it gives me automatically over here. Before I switched to, I mean, before I deleted it, I copy pasted that over here, and I wanted to maintain the string to contain the title of social media followed by the caption. What does that mean? If I don't add this instruction, it's just going to give me the contents. It's just going to give me the streamline your content creation, elevate your social media. It's just going to give me this. So I want to specify that I want the title of the social media so that when I'm reading it over in this database, I actually know which text is portraying to which social media. So right now it gives us the code right over here, and this is how our output should look like. So that's the code that I pasted over here. And then we test the step and we can see that we are actually not getting what we wanted. So let's copy this. Oh, because we didn't copy this code. So let's copy this code. And there we go. You see here we have our titles or our social media before the actual caption. So that's exactly what we wanted. Now, what are we missing? We're missing an image. So we're gonna go into OpenAI, message model, and then let's do generate an image. Now, before in the first prompt, we asked for the tool to give us an image description. This is the image description that we're gonna be using over here. So we just add the image description options. I want to do the respond with image URL because it's otherwise it's gonna give us a binary file and that's way harder to manage, manipulate, and everything. I'm not gonna go too in-depth into this video. So we're gonna get the output as URL, and then here we want to name this image generator. I forgot to put here data cleanup. We always want to make sure that we are naming these nodes. So the image generator. Now let's test. Let's actually clean the data up until now, and then let's test this step and see how it works. So right now it's taking a little bit longer because it's actually generating an image with the DALL-E model by OpenAI. So as you can see here, we have the answer table revised prompt. Now what I want to do is I want to check what image it gave me. So let's see if it actually gave us an image. Okay, so this is an image that portrays to the description that we came up with earlier. Here we go. So now what do we want? We want to update our new database. So the last thing that we want is updating this database. So let's go into the Notion. And here we want to create a database page. So create post draft. So here we are going to be connecting to the new database, which is the AI generated posts. Just for simplicity's sake and this video, this database has the exact same parameters as this database. Now, of course, I could make two databases with two different parameters and then just map the data where I want, but I just wanted to make it simple to show you all the things that you can do. So for the title, actually, we're going to be executing the previous nodes. I should have kept these already done because now it's going to have to prompt it again. And then we're going to have to generate a new image. It's actually not even using this data over here. It's just prompting the full workflow again, so it's fine. Let's just wait for this to be over, and then you're gonna see all of the data that we're getting into the last bit of the workflow, and that's the easiest part, is just mapping out the data that we want to appear in our new database. So I'm gonna show you as soon as the image is created. I'm actually curious to see how much the image switched. So let's check it out. Yeah, I actually don't like this image, but that's good. So right now, all we want is to map the data over in here. So for the title, we're gonna be not using the title that we put because this is just our idea, but we're going to be using the title that we asked the first LLM to give us. So title, it's gonna be an expression, and then we're going to be mapping each of these properties that appear over here with the data that we're getting over here. Now, for example, for the ones that we didn't use, like an article, I'm not gonna have an article data from the LLMs because it wasn't true all the way over in the trigger. It's not true. So as you can see, it didn't continue doing a caption for it or an article for it. So for example, if I were to do that, I will have to go all the way back down here to the Notion trigger and map it from the first one. I'm gonna be going ahead and fast forward through this because this is a little bit lengthy, but then I'll be right back. Great, so that was pretty much it. I just came back here. I finished doing all of these little adjustments, data cleanup, and here we have our database. As you can see, our generated post got created over here. Now, this is the first image that it generated. I actually like this a little bit better, but it should still serve as a concept. I don't recommend using this workflow for an actual business practice. If you actually want to do a content generator or a content creator as a workflow, there's a little bit more steps involved that would require a little bit more time than this video allowed. But if you guys like this content, hit the like button and hope you guys are finding this useful.